Hi, YouTube, it's your boy Hello Ned. And today we are reacting to Jeepers Creepers, the true story that inspired the movie. As we all know, Jeepers Creepers was this little monster. I ain't gonna say alien. He was a monster that rode in an old raggedy van, had wings, and they kidnapped kids. Sound like a lot of people out here. But let's go and press this play button. I don't want to get into all that. So
say that we know that song from the movie Jeepers Creepers, and honest to goodness, it's probably one of the most terrifying songs you can ever hear. And what makes it even more terrifying is that Jeepers Creepers, at least the beginning of the movie, is actually based on a real crime that happened in Michigan. Today, we're going to be tracking down the crime scenes that inspired the horror film Jeepers Creepers.
beautiful.
If you've seen the movie Jeepers Creepers, everything you're about to see and hear is going to sound and look strangely familiar, like eerily familiar. Now, I should point out that at no time did the creator of the movie ever state that he pulled inspiration from this crime. But as we talk about it, you're going to go, wait a second. He might as well have lifted the events straight from real life and put them on screen. We think the best way to tell this story is actually from inside the car, driving down the road to where the crime happened in real life. Now, in order to do this, we have a couple cameras. We have this one right here, and then we have this camera. You can see Jessica sitting right next to me. Now, this is important because in the movie Jeepers Creepers, brother and sister Trish and Derry are driving down a road very similar to the one that we're driving down right now. It's like farm country. And they encounter this truck that practically runs them off the road. And the license plate, it becomes like the joke of the movie, says, "Be eating you" or "beating you." And it kind of makes them a little unnerved. Even more so, a little further down the road, they come to this abandoned building and they see the truck and they see this figure trying to dispose of something, like a sheet covered in blood behind the building, and it freaks them out. That's the start of the movie Jeepers Creepers, the movie. In real life, however, it wasn't brother and sister. It was a married couple, Ray and Marie Thornton. They were driving down a road known as Snow Prairie Road. They're actually heading south. And just like in the movie, a truck comes up behind them. It's like this brown, dirty, decrepit looking van, and it almost runs them off the road.
We were driving south on Snow Prairie Road, and all of a sudden a van just on us and passed.
Jeez, you must be in a hurry.
And they see the license plate, and the wife, Marie, she takes notice of the license plate, and it says GZ and something else, and she goes, geez, that car was moving fast, or something like that. They're a little unnerved, but the car speeds off, and eventually they come across the van again. This time, they come across this creepy looking building, that one right there. And in the back, they see somebody with a white sheet that looks to be drenched in blood. And as they slow down and pass the school, they're still looking back. They notice that the van is parked right there.
Man, there's a bloody sheet. Where? He's behind the building. There's the van that passed us.
Where?
It's right there.
There was the one that passed us?
Yes, I'm sure it was. It's the van that passed us.
They make it about 2 miles down the road when they notice that the van is back. Now it's right on their tail, riding their bumper, and they can see it clear as day in the rear view mirror, but they don't get a good look at who's driving. Instead, they note that he's wearing like a white cap, like a white hat. At this point, they realize that whatever's happening is really no good, so they try to write down the license plate to turn it into the authorities. And then they turn down a road just like this. It's like a dirt road. Now, it's important to note that while this is all going on, they never left their car. But they make it down this road and they turn around because they want to go and get a better look at the license plate, even more so go see what this unknown figure was trying to stuff down a hole behind the old abandoned building. So they decided to turn around and drive up there to get a closer look. And
Hell nah. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I see, man, I'm finna hit, man, I got me like a little Mustang. But if I'm in any type of car, my mama car, she got a Pontiac. But if I was to, like, just drive, and I seen it behind me, I might brake check him. Nah, just playing. He might kidnap me then. I'm finna speed on up. I ain't finna keep looking. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Just keep on pushing. Like I said, they ain't got nothing to do with your boy. Your boy finna keep, we ain't turning back. We going straight forward, looking straight forward. And he want to get out the van, fly. Oh well, he ain't finna catch me. I ain't lying. I mean, I'm not finna turn back around trying to be, what's his name? Sherlock Holmes. I'm not trying to be him. Nah, I'm trying to go and get on down.
when they do this, the story gets even darker.
He was behind his van with the passenger front door open,
You seen the numbers on that plate he just
and
put up?
I saw that the passenger door was covered with blood.
Damn.
There's blood all over that door.
What door?
The passenger door.
That guy has done something.
Now, I don't know about you, but
Call the police. Why ain't call the police? Y'all didn't have police back then? Like, seriously, y'all didn't have police. Y'all got the tag called GZ3877. Ain't that what it was? I think so. Call the police and let them figure it out. Don't be trying to be Scooby-Doo in the game. Fuck that.
if I would have come across something like this, and Jessica agrees with me, we probably would have hightailed it out of here. Went straight to the police. None of them. Even after they noticed that the passenger side door is open, and on the interior, like inside the car and on the door, they can see blood. What do? They head back to the abandoned building, back to the schoolhouse to see what this guy was trying to get rid of.
Like some dumbasses. Your boy Ned ain't no dumbass. I'm not finna go back. We finna, what he said, hightail it up out of here. Man, what? For real.
And that brings us back to the schoolhouse. I'm honestly surprised that this building is still standing. The movie and the real life crime are so eerily similar, so hauntingly similar, it makes your head spin. I mean, up at this point, I purposely have not said the name of the killer and the victim because I wanted you guys to go, wait a second, this reminds me so much of the movie. Is he talking about the movie or is he talking about the real crime? Now, I know in the movie, a big part of it ends at a school when Derry is taken through the window by the creeper, by the creature. That didn't happen in real life. In fact, none of the crime actually took place inside this school behind these walls. It was all behind the building. We're going to show that in just a moment. But it's just crazy to think that it's so close. What the Thorntons didn't realize is that they were witnessing the aftermath of a murder that happened earlier that day, where a man by the name of Dennis Depew murdered his ex-wife Marilyn and was trying to dispose or dump of evidence, like a sheet covered in blood, behind this abandoned school.
But why?
Something else we want to point out, everything that we're talking about, all that we know about this case is because of unsolved mysteries. So these events happened April 15th, 1990, and then it aired on Unsolved Mysteries, and that's how the killer was caught. Now, I don't know if you know this, but for some reason, Unsolved Mysteries really likes to film their dramatizations where the actual crimes have happened. We know this because this is not the first video we've ever done based on an Unsolved Mysteries case. There was one in Florida. Now, the Thorntons did not know that the van that they saw parked over here belonged to Dennis Depew, and that's probably more than likely where Marilyn was killed. But this is not where the sheet was. So right where Jessica is, that's where there used to be like this old oil tank there. And then right where you see all the, like that walkway in the grass, that's where the van was parked. But all the way on the other side of the building, towards the back, is where we are headed.
Private property. This is private property.
This is pretty wild. A couple years ago, if you remember correctly, Baby Goal, we did the filming locations to the movie Jeepers Creepers. We've done other inspiration stories for horror movies like Scream and The Hills Have Eyes. Never in a million years did I ever think that we'd be doing the inspiration for Jeepers Creepers, well, the opening scenes. So right back here, back whenever they made the episode for Unsolved Mysteries, there was a fence here. And then towards the very back is where Dennis Depew was seen trying to dispose of the bloody sheet.
But there are some sick people in this world. I cannot lie to you. Him, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, the Chainsaw Man, Chuck, not just playing, but damn, John, the clown nigga. It's some really fucked up people in this world, bro. Like, why? Like, what is your reason for that? Like, why did you kill your ex-wife? You mad cause she ain't give you no more cookie? Is that why you mad for? She ain't give you no pum pum. She made sure you're tired. I'm finna go kill her. What? Man, I don't know that is that the real thing for it, but it is some sick people in this world though.
If you look off in the distance, you can see that white farmhouse. It runs right along Snow Prairie Road. Right now we're looking north. So the Thorntons were driving south, which would have been from left to right. And then passing this field, looking over this way towards where I'm standing, they would have saw somebody trying to get rid of something white, covered in red. And if I back up, you can see the schoolhouse.
Whole time y'all could be standing on the on her carcasses right now. Whole time, cause like, you know, she's in the ground, dirt and everything grow up on it. Shit, y'all could be standing on her, to be honest.
Wild, right? And you know what? I mean, this happened, what, 1990? And it really is just kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. It's peaceful. So right back here, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the wind coming across the grass, it's actually quite nice. So you can kind of see, like there's that concrete pylon or whatever you want to call it. It looks like at one point there was a fence. You can see some of the iron rivets. So somewhere back in here is where he was trying to stuff the sheet.
You know, it was always strange to me that it seemed he had some foreknowledge of an animal hole here. But I think maybe he was just driving around frantically trying to dispose of evidence and came across the abandoned school and thought, this could be where I do it.
Like he saw like some wooded area behind something like, you know, abandoned, like you were saying.
We are in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there's just nothing around. I'm gonna pan the camera around for a little bit. I mean, we're at an intersection, there are cars, but nobody's stopping. It's just kind of like, they're there and then they're gone.
Especially
I wouldn't want to stop either. Fuck that, man. Hell nah. Who? You? Not me.
back when it would have happened, I imagine that there was probably less traffic. Just neighbors, farms. No longer much of a community because the school's closed, so no more children. Or at least they've grown up.
Now, of course, I highly recommend that you watch the Unsolved Mysteries episode. It is on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description of this video. It talks a little bit more about the crime. Basically, Dennis LePew, he got away. He assumed a different identity, moved to Texas, was in a different relationship, left behind his kids and everybody. And like I said, it aired on Unsolved Mysteries, good old Robert Stack. And he saw it and he decided to leave. And by then, his then girlfriend's family called the police, like basically turned him in, and he just kind of like hit the road and he died in a shootout. Well, I rephrase that. He did not die in a shootout. He shot himself, but I do believe the police were shooting at him. I think he died in Mississippi or something like that. He's buried here, not too far from where we are right now. And Marilyn, she's a little further away. We're gonna visit both of their graves in just a moment. It's just something haunting about being here. It should be noted that there is no trespassing inside this building. There are signs and a lot of the windows have been boarded up. There's some graffiti like this one here, it says, "Enter hell." We're not going in. And I remember reading that the owner of this place obviously does not like people coming in, getting inside the building. It is for sale. So
But why? Why would he not want people to come inside? What did he have to hide? That's the question you need to ask.
if you want to buy this place, and you can, and you can turn it into a home if you want to live where in the backyard a very famous, unintentionally famous crime happened. It definitely has been people breaking into this place. We didn't do this. We're not going in, like I said. The crime didn't happen here. We can put the camera inside.
Yeah, put the camera in for me. I want to see what's inside there. I ain't gonna lie, I would have hopped on in trying to explore, trying to see what I could see. I ain't lying.
I can imagine whoever buys this place, again, it is for sale. You have a lot of work to do, but talk about a dark history, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love doing filming location videos, but I think what I love the most is doing the videos that inspired some of the movies that have terrified us. Now, I know I already said a few, but now that we've done this one, the inspiration for Jeepers Creepers, we did the inspiration for The Exorcist, Jaws, The Hills Have Eyes. I know there's more out there. We have like over 1,000 videos. But it's just one of those things that you never think that you're ever going to get the chance to do. And then when you have the movie that just kind of terrifies you, and then you're where it really happened. This is the whole new level.
Don't forget, we did also Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Scream.
That's right. Danny Rolling, who's buried at a prison cemetery in Florida, who inspired Scream, and Ed Gein, who inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that was real. So Scream is real. Shout out my nigga Billy.
I'm watching spiders.
We now find ourselves at a place known as Eagle Cemetery, which is basically a small cemetery in the middle of nowhere. But this is where you'll find the final resting place of Dennis Depew. Or I guess you can even go as far as saying the final resting place, the grave
There you go.
of the creeper himself.
Right here. There you go, right there.
Now,
Both of
I
them.
wasn't really expecting
Then she got a bigger headstone than him. Oh, yeah, 3. Damn.
this, but Dennis Depew is actually buried with his family. It's like a family plot over here.
That's sad, dog. That's so sad.
It says right there about the center of your screen. Depew, Dennis H., 1943 to 1991. And like I said, his family here. Now Marilyn, she is not here, his ex-wife. She is somewhere completely different, and understandably so.
Mm-hmm.
I know the movie Jeepers Creepers is a horror film, it's a work of fiction, but knowing that at least part of it, the opening scenes, what's really memorable about the movie is based off of an actual crime, an actual person who murdered his ex-wife. Technically, that makes this the final resting place of the creeper himself, the monster, the real life monster. It's just wild to think about. Now this is a nice surprise. We drove all the way up here to visit the final resting place of Marilyn, knowing full well that she was in an unmarked grave, that there was no tombstone. And in an effort to try to make our trip here a lot easier, to try to pinpoint exactly where she is, we talked to the main office on the phone, and they were kind enough to send me a map and the exact plot of where to look, with the warning that this place is pretty massive and it's kind of like a labyrinth once you get up here, especially with an unmarked grave. So we got here just as they were closing. The last person in the cemetery was leaving, and she was kind enough to walk us up here to visit Marilyn. And we get up here, and it turns out that Marilyn's grave, her final resting place, isn't unmarked at all. It's been buried to time. We were led to the far back side of the cemetery. I'm talking the furthest point you can go, like in the very, very back. We get out of the car and we walk over to the tree line, and we start trying to move the grass and leaves with our feet to find the marker that says, hey, you are in the right section. And as you can tell, that too was sunken in and covered with leaves and twigs and what have you not, but 262A is what we were looking for. All three of us were over here against this tree line trying to figure out where exactly the plot that Marilyn would have been. And our guide, she actually notices that there's this flat spot underneath all of the dead leaves, and she moves it away, and wouldn't you know, right there, Marilyn Lee McClenahan. Now that is Marilyn's maiden name. She does not have Dennis's last name. January 24th, 1942 to April 15th, 1990.
Sad, bro. Sad.
It's beautiful. Loving
It's
mother.
Beautiful, but it's sad.
When we first walked over here, it was completely covered. You could not see it in any way, shape, or form. And truth be told, before we turned on the camera, we did clean it off quite a bit, and we're gonna finish doing that. But what's really amazing and beyond beautiful, our guide said that she's gonna put in a work order to have the tombstone actually raised out of the ground, so it should not be buried anymore. I love it. Please believe me when I tell you, all three of us had goosebumps when we realized that this was buried, not only underneath the grass and dead leaves and twigs and trees and weeds, but this tree has fallen over. So it's nice that it's going to be raised, it's going to get cleaned up. And with that being said, thank you for joining us on another grim adventure, this time telling the story of Marilyn and Dennis, the inspiration for a horror movie that we all know all too well, a movie called Jeepers Creepers. Until next time, happy Halloween.
And Halloween? And none of that. But man, Jeepers Creepers was an odd movie, terrifying at times, but I said that Dupree, he was a sick bastard. He was a sick bastard that killed his wife for no reason at all that he should have. But it's just like, why? Why would you want to kill your wife for? Like, you really want to kill your wife for what reason? Like, I just don't understand, bro. Like, it's some sick people in this world, gang. And like the craziest, like the craziest horror movies based off like real life like stuff. Like as you seen right here in this video, created by my boy Grim Life. Like this stuff is real. Like the scary movies, they be real stuff, and it's crazy to me that why would you want to kill your own wife, man? For real. But anyway, man, if y'all like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Do those three for me. And I will catch y'all in the next video. I got some more videos to record. So I'll get over with y'all later. Deuces.